Polin's long-awaited love story shines in Bridgerton Season 3 ***. Nicola Coughlan, Penelope Featherington, and Luke Newton, Polin Bridgerton, take center stage in Bridgerton Season 3, delivering a heartfelt, friends-to-lovers romance. After years of anticipation, fans finally witness Penelope's first kiss, also her first ever, bringing tender vulnerability to her character's journey. The on-screen chemistry between the duo, enhanced by their real-life friendship, lends authenticity to moments of passion and self-discovery. Season 3 celebrates wallflowers finding their voice and love, with Penelope stepping into her power as both Colin's anchor and London's sharpest writer, Lady Whistledown. Their journey explores themes of vulnerability, joy, and the balance of power in relationships. As Colin grapples with Penelope's secret identity and his own insecurities, their love story evolves into a partnership filled with humor, warmth, and steamy Regency moments, including the much-talked-about carriage and mirror scenes. By the season's end, Polin fans are treated to a happy ending as Penelope and Colin marry, embrace parenthood, and finally bask in the joy of being happy idiots together. This season solidifies their story as one of Bridgerton's most memorable romances, a celebration of love, friendship, and self-acceptance. Nicola Coughlan and Luke Newton shine a light on their Bridgerton love story. In Season 3, Penelope and Colin see each other more clearly than any mirror. Bridgerton Season 3 star Nicola Coughlan was completely and utterly terrified about filming Penelope Featherington's first kiss with longtime crush Colin Bridgerton, Luke Newton. It's also Penelope's first kiss ever. "I felt like a teenager," she tells Tudum. "I felt like when I was about to have my real-life first kiss. That didn't happen on screen, which I'm really glad of." She and Newton, her co-star and friend, practiced the episode 2 smooch with intimacy coordinator Lizzie Talbot ahead of filming. "The stress just had been building up," Coughlan says. "We'd known for 4 years that we were getting to this point. I was like, what if I'm a horrible kisser?" But, as Bridgerton fans know, Coughlan had nothing to worry about. In fact, Catherine Drysdale, who portrays Mayfair modiste Genevieve Delacroix, heaped the highest praise on Coughlan and Newton after a cast screening. She was like, "It's the most beautiful on-screen kiss," Coughlan says. "I was like, oh my god, thanks. It really looks lifted out of a romance novel." Although Penelope and Colin have had undeniable chemistry since the beginning of Bridgerton, that kiss changes their relationship. Suddenly, it's not just Penelope who sees the potential in a romance between these two friends. Colin's point of view, to reference one very special episode 5 pop cover, is quickly, overwhelmingly consumed with the idea as well. It's the first physical step that leads Polin, as they're lovingly called by fans, on an unforgettably passionate romance in Bridgerton Season 3, Part 2, now streaming. "This season is a beautiful tribute to the wallflowers of the world," says executive producer Shonda Rhimes. "It's wonderful to watch Penelope become who she is and who she deserves to be. And Colin, he's as much of a wallflower as she is, really." At the start of Season 3, Colin returns to Mayfair from what Newton believes was his character's first taste of traveling alone. Colin is determined to follow in the footsteps of his rakish older brothers Anthony, Jonathan Bailey, who is now happily married, and Benedict, Luke Thompson, along with the other merrymaking men of the ton. But Colin finds these fleeting experiences wanting. One summer of hanging out and spending some time in brothels and he's like, "No, this is not for me," Newton says. His Drake time is really short-lived. Because, by episode 4, Colin realizes he doesn't need to be the kind of man society expects him to be. He needs Penelope. Penelope is the key because she keeps him grounded. She keeps him the person that he truly is, Newton says. As we continue with the show, we'll get to see them develop into their relationship and see each other in the goofy or cute little moments that maybe his older brothers are not as willing to publicly disclose. We also get some steamy moments. While episode 4's carriage scene took the internet by storm, Part 2 delves even deeper into the couple's passion. As Coughlan once promised Tudum, fans are going to lose their minds. She was telling the truth. Episode 5 features a new take on the highly anticipated mirror scene from Romancing Mr. Bridgerton, the Julia Quinn novel that inspired Season 3. In this version, Colin and Penelope, fresh from their engagement, begin to get more acquainted with one another in what will become their family home. Then they move to the chaise lounge. Showrunner Jess Brownell beams with pride and a responsibility while talking about these scenes. There's laughter and there's this sense of, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening. I have so much love for you as a friend, Brownell tells Tudum. Of course there's that sense of discovery and newness as well. In the carriage ride, in the time they first have sex, the joy there is a powerful thing to show on television, that intimacy can mean comfort and joy and friendship. Coughlan is thankful she filmed these moments alongside a friend like Newton. He's a dream co-star, and an even more dream romantic lead, she says. Although it could have been as scary to perform an intimate scene with someone you're so close with, that wasn't the case here. It made it more terrifying to go into but way better to come out of, because we could talk about it, and we could make jokes about it, Coughlan says. We were very lucky in that we got a big say in how we wanted it to be shot and what we wanted to do, and even add certain things we thought would be good. So you feel like you have a hand in controlling it, which is invaluable. Despite Colin and Penelope's Part 2 love bubble, which is filled with sweet dances and lengthy declarations of pure love, they also encounter their share of problems. Penelope's lady whistle downsized secret hangs over them. But there's also a deeper, more emotional crisis at hand. Once Colin learns about Penelope's scandal sheet alter ego, he becomes unsure of how to contend with the ton's most badass author, as Brownell calls her, and what his bride's success means to his own writing career. Newton enjoyed seeing his character squirm for a few episodes. Colin feels like he's way more experienced than Penelope, Newton says. Suddenly the coin is flipped. Penelope has all the power because she's the most famous writer in London, and everyone's waiting on her every word. He needed being brought down a peg or two. However, in the finale, Colin admits that he loves Penelope for being Lady Whistledown. He realizes he feels lucky to stand by her side and soak up even a little bit of her light. Rhimes credits Brownell with pulling off the latest great romantic speech in the Bridgerton canon. She really wrote the heck out of all those scenes and really brought some dimension to all of that, she says. The idea of whether or not Penelope is going to continue her work and continue to be the person she's known herself to be is fascinating. It turned out so wonderful. So wonderful, in fact, that Penelope and Colin get their happy ending at the close of season 3. As we say goodbye to Polin, they're married, in love, and the proud parents of a bouncing baby boy, who also happens to be the heir to the Featherington name. Luke and I fight about the baby's hair color. I want a ginger baby. He wants a dark-haired baby, Coughlan says. They're so cute. It would be just so funny to have a little ginger baby in the little Regency clothes. But Polin can at least agree on one thing as they look toward the future. I want them to just be happy idiots, Coughlan says. I'm really excited for them just to be massive nerds, sitting at the edge of the ballroom watching everything that's going on. Now that's the kind of news that would catch the eye of Lady Whistledown, or should we say Penelope Bridgerton, Society columnist? Nicola Coughlan and Luke Newton give us all the delicious Bridgerton Season 3 details. As imaginary paramours on a Bridgerton, Nicola Coughlan and Luke Newton couldn't be more charming. In real life, they're no different. As I sit down in a London hotel suite across from Nicola Coughlan and Luke Newton, Coughlan is in the middle of a wardrobe malfunction. It's a moment that could be awkward, but Coughlan's realness and openness, even when her stylist's hand is down her suit jacket making adjustments with a sharp safety pin, allow instead for an informal exchange. The three of us chat about London, the weather, her abstract, asymmetrical heart-shaped gold necklace, Newton's Versace suit, which Coughlan jokingly calls, per Nomi Malone, Versace, and their impending insane schedules leading up to the premiere of the 3rd season of Bridgerton that see the actors, who play Penelope Featherington and Colin Bridgerton, flying to Australia, Brazil, New York City, and other global destinations in the span of just a few weeks. In case you're not caught up, we've got you covered here. Coughlan and Newton, who constantly finish each other's sentences throughout our interview, are about to get their time in the spotlight in Season 3 of Shondaland's hit Netflix series, which premieres first with Part 1 on Thursday, May 16th, with Part 2 following soon after on June 13th. Coughlan, who broke out in 2018 with her hilarious and endearing rendition of an awkward high schooler coming of age with her 3 best friends during the Troubles in Northern Ireland on Channel 4's, on Netflix in the US. Derry Girls is simultaneously doing press for Big Mood, a seriously funny take on mental health that she stars in with Lydia West. In fact, Coughlan was filming that show, which recently began streaming in the US on Tubi, while also tackling the lead role in Bridgerton. Her partner in that task, Newton, got his start in 2009 on The Cut, a spicy BBC drama, before booking more shows, including a recurring role on Disney Channel's The Lodge, and showing his skills on stage as well. Most recently, he starred in Neil LaBute's The Shape of Things for Park Theatre in London. When it comes to the pair's roles on Bridgerton, fans of Julia Quinn's books will already know Penelope and Colin's infamous Friends to Lovers storyline in the fourth installment of the book series, Romancing Mr. Bridgerton. And over the course of the past 4 years, as Netflix's Bridgerton series has broken viewing records and joined together millions of audiences around the world in a Regency-era romance they didn't know they were missing from their lives, the lifelong friends, dubbed a Polin by the internet, have set fans ablaze with anticipation at this all finally playing out on screen. The first 4 episodes of Bridgerton dropped today, and if you haven't gotten a chance to see them, you may want to stop reading now and get to watching. In only 4 hours of television, the new season gives so much to digest, it probably warrants a second watch before the next 4 episodes air on Thursday, June 13th. But throughout the past 3 seasons, it's been a slow-burn anticipation for Newton and Coughlan, who have genuinely become real-life best friends in that span of time. Parallel to that, their on-screen characters have given us such a perfect crescendo of what it's like to fall in love over decades that I'm not entirely convinced that the real-life people sitting in front of me are not actually in love. Yeah, we've kept that one really secret. Coughlan jests when I hint at the possibility. It's this kind of inside joke where the duo never make you feel like you're being left out that's made Newton and Coughlan global stars beloved by young and old fans, near and far. And now, as we're getting the first 4 episodes of Season 3 under our belt, we're able to spill a little bit of the tea on where this all might be going for Pen and Colonel. It's also a great moment to get into how it's been for Coughlan and Newton transitioning into portraying a couple whose passion for each other, once set aflame, must keep burning. Valentina Valentini, this might be a simple question with a simple answer, but I think we all want to know what this journey has been like for you too, from the first days of filming in 2020 to taking over Season 3. Nicola Coughlan, it's been amazing. Honestly, there's no other way to say it. Luke is a dream co-star. He is so kind, he is so patient, he never brings a bad attitude onto set, he has no ego, and you have to be really vulnerable in filming something like this. Pen and Call's story in particular, they really have to let their guards down so much to see who they are. They struggle with loving themselves, so to have someone that I felt comfortable to do that with was simply amazing. Luke Newton, we really started to learn quickly in the process of Season 3 how similar we were, how we wanted to navigate our way as actors. It was really nice that we'd had the opportunity to work together for all those previous years and get that on-set dynamic where we knew what worked for each other so that, in the end, it was so easy to slip into that Colin and Pen dynamic and then grow from there. It's been one of my favorite things ever. Vivi, coming up, without any spoilers, we'll get to harken back to Colin and Penelope's meet cute, which is in the book. Have you had any really great meet cuties in your own life? LN, nowhere near as cute as that. I remember being so glad that scene was in there because Nick and I had talked about if they would ever do the flashback scene. In Season 2, we had some flashback scenes, so we thought, oh, yeah, imagine younger versions of us, falling off a horse. NC, that's a big stunt for a kid though, I guess. LN, that's true. Vivi, this is a question I asked Phoebe Dynevor and Regine Page. Self-pleasure has been well documented for men in film and TV, but for women, and especially young ones, we're only just now getting to see it more on screen, in large part because of Bridgerton. What are your thoughts on that small, but important, part of the story? NC, it's sort of insane that it's a taboo, when you think about it. It's absolutely wild. There's so much shame around sexuality and sex in general, and it's so silly. But that's the thing I love about this show, that's why the sex scenes are really important in this show because it's about them, these 2 young people feeling love and tenderness and affection and sexual attraction to one another. Like, they're all things to be celebrated. On the whole, Bridgerton celebrates female pleasure and the female gaze in a really beautiful way.